That's all right. Hello, my name is Timmy. Today I'm gonna talk about Palo Alto Networks integration with Splunk. So I got the Palo Alto Networks firewall here. It's already preloaded. The dashboard here showing once you log in, you go straight to this dashboard, and I'm gonna focus on this ACC. SEC is the application command control that comes out of the box of the feature of this next generation firewall. So I'm going to change the duration into 6 hours. On the left side, this can be change the time for your customize or the predefined like 7 days or 4 weeks. And you can see the application that being used here. There's a couple different application and the race next to it. Why is the race like 5 or 4? And then okay, let's choose one. There's this function. And what is function? And you can click the arrow and show the value. That's actually function is a Chinese website that hosts movies. It's like YouTube basically. It just is hosted in China. And while the race is 5, all the characteristics and descriptions and it's all details for all the others. So I'm gonna put function in my global filter. It will go straight to the left side. Is a global filter that applies this function traffic for all this ACC information here. On the right side you got the we got the users information on the Michael and Serena and Brian. So I'm gonna choose Michael here and add to the global filter as well. And you're gonna update the global filter, then it give the information for all this application and users, of course. And there is a source activity, this source workstation IP and the destinations in the internet, and which country that actually goes. Of course, it goes to China, and a couple goes to US, and the rules that are being hit for this traffic. So I'm going to explain with the rules later, but before we go there, I'm going to remove the function from the global filter and go with the rest of the application that Michael used. So this is the purpose, is I want to know what's other application that Michael using, and is straight away go all this information like a web browsing, video. Seems he enjoying a lot of streaming and downloading videos, and this information for the last 6 hours, and it's showing a lot of threads. You see like the threads here on the DNS and the SSLs and the functional, all the threads. If you want to go more details on the thread activity on the top, there is a further information about what is actually that, because the global filter apply to here too. And then the information giving like is a spyware about 393 for the last 6 hours, and the severity for all these threats. Okay, let's say choose this one that you can see the value again, the same arrow, and giving you the information about the DNS signature detect on DNS query. So basically it's a malicious query trying to look for the command control traffic and everything, and the counts that all this traffic measure. So there's no information on wildfire for this, and there is a host visiting malicious URL and a host resolving malicious domains. A bit of graphical that from time to time was the trend, and on the most bottom is the non-standard port that being used. This is for the applications, which is the web browsings, and this is the rules that being used for the non-standard port. And let's go back to the network activity, filter again the function, and go to the most bottom, that the role usage. I'm gonna go for the global find here. It will show the details of the role, the security policy, and if I hover here, and it will give the information that the file sharing, peer-to-peer photo video, all this the application group that allowing function to go through the traffic. So I'm gonna click it, and it goes straight to the policies here, and I'm gonna remove actually the watch risky apps and go to the block bad apps here. If you click here, I can just add function in here, and it can be blocked as the action is denied here. I'm gonna update and commit. I'm gonna block the traffic of the function. going to show you later. The commit takes some time, so I'm going to move on with the syslog, how actually Palo Alto Networks founded syslog using the server profile under the device and the syslog here, and there is a one profile here for syslog server, which is the IP for the Splunk here, and then the protocol they're being used, and the port is not default 514, but it's a 3333, and next to it is the object log forwarding. It will give this profile to traffic, threats, and wildfire. So all these three will be forwarding all different severity to Splunk one profile. Okay, and the policy that apply granular to each security policy that is being forwarded to the syslog. So on the policy here, if you go further to the end, and there is this option log settings and log forwarding apply to Splunk. It can be very granular. It can be more than one or two. I mean, it can be go to different destination of syslogs. Okay, so it's done with the Palo Alto Networks demo. You see this, the function traffic is being blocked by the block bad app rules. So it's working good. And I'm gonna move to Splunk. Once you log into Splunk, the interface, you will go to this, I can click the apps Palo Alto Networks, and you will show this dashboard of incident dashboard. This is the information for the about, I think, 7 weeks, 7 days, and is, yeah, you see 28 today, and 21st is the last week. So all this information's coming here, and if you further scroll down, all the information that's forwarded from the firewall with the users, and the file name here is a couple of virus, a couple of vulnerabilities, a couple of virus coming from wildfires. Wildfire is the solution of the Palo Alto Networks that analyze the unknown threats into a known threats. That is a sandbox in the cloud that giving a verdict and update all the firewalls within 5 to 15 minutes to the worldwide customer. So the information is about here. So I'm gonna click the no, before I click, I'm gonna show you the look and feel on the change of the GUI on the Splunk. Basically the visualization, you want to change into lines, I want to change into vertical, you can update it this way. And then if you want to add a panel, this is all called a panel, and move up and down size and everything can be arranged very easy, very user friendly. And I'll go to click to wildfire information. Here I will go to my wildfire dashboard again with the information, but this time with the numbers: malicious, phishing, gray wave, benign. I'm gonna change the duration into maybe 60 minutes here. 60 minutes is the last 1 hour. All this information coming up. It's now it's about 250. All this information, the malicious file that being analyzed, what's the application being used, the file types are coming from the PE file, and the source coming from US, most of it, and all the IP address that the source IP address that malicious. So there is another essential solution from Palo Alto Networks called autofocus. It's a threat intelligence in the cloud that is doing helping for the security operation or research, basically for threat hunting research. So you're giving a lot of information about certain tags, certain campaigns, certain attacks, and first time is a time, a lot of tagging and correlate to the other one, and source IP address, a lot of things. So I'm gonna choose actually one of these good examples. Let me see of a good example. Is there any CSS here? I'm gonna choose CSS. Not yet. Okay, let me use another sample, I guess. Audio DG is a good example. You will open another page of autofocus. Okay, no, there is no tagging in this one. How about 1100? I guess it's a good example, isn't it? It's loading. Alright, got a lot of tagging on 1100. And if you hover, okay, so this is the autofocus search dashboard, and you can hover into this one of the tagging. You doing IP address lookup, process injection. Very common is a process injection. I just click process injection. It's being the source coming from the Unit 42 is the backend of a Palo Alto Networks research, malware research. They full-time dedicated engineer to play with the malware and doing a research. And all this, the extra definition for this process injection. And what is a process injection is the malicious software often injected into legitimate running process. So it's actually inject into a legitimate application. There is an extra reference in here, a lot of different information. And let's go back to the tag, and I'm going to choose again to the 1100 here, and I'm going to choose all the tag so it's not running away. I'm going to search on this, and it will come up to my sample. You see that my sample here, and then if I go to sessions, a lot of these sessions, many different file name, but the behavior seems is the same, and it goes to the same source. Again, it's my user Michael, and it's my serial number on my firewall. If we go to statistics, this is compared to my samples, compared to my old samples, that the sessions that found what's the application that being used, and there's a sample hash. Top firewall is the firewall serial number that my source is only one firewall, but I can correlate to many different firewall. And if you compare to the all samples, you will compare to the industry. Like you are in the high-tech industry, or you are in the other high-tech telecoms manufacturer here, and it giving the information about like when is the first time found, and how many sessions. That it's like, you looking up the campaign, is it like specific into your industry, or is it's just like a randomly attacking each one randomly. So the source country come mostly to the from the IT. What country is that? IT, and there is D is about German, I guess, Dutch, and the Russia, and a couple small in US here, and a couple correlation here, process injection, address lookup, and yeah, that's for the autofocus. You can approach me if you want to know more on the autofocus, but the limitation of time, I'm gonna cut off, and we're gonna move on with the wildfire in the Splunk. So let's say I'm interested with the source IP here, and I'm gonna click the search. This is gonna showcase to you that the Splunk can give information to the firewall, which is okay. The information already last 60 minutes. That all this source IP that just now the country Russia and IT and German giving the traffic the malicious URL. So I'm gonna create an alert of this. Just click save as an alert there, and then I'm gonna create a title of this, maybe wildfire malicious IP, and I'm going to share to the other app as well. I'm going to be scheduled, run every cron. I'm going to make it in 1 minute. This is 1 minute in cron. I want to pass information for the last 60 minutes, and the trigger coming up above anything greater than 0. And for each result that updating, the suppressed information should be coming from this event field src underscore IP, and the trigger here is for telling me that there is a trigger alert. You will updating the Splunk, and then this is the tagging. what's the name there? This is ML IP. All right. So all is good. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna view on the alert. You're giving me the alert, and I'm gonna choose the trigger alert as well, giving me extra information here. I'm gonna trigger a couple of this. If you can see this, this is from my victim host, that I'm gonna run a couple of this script to trigger the downloading virus with the URL. Okay, so it's running, and the firewall, when it's update, is basically gonna update the address group on the dynamic tagging in this portion here, dynamic. Okay, so there is WF SRC IP. No, it's ML IP. All right, so this is the one, the ML IP. So there is the let me commit this and see if there any trigger already or not. Not yet, but there is already a information transfer there. Let's wait for a while that this being updated. And while the commit is doing the job, fun fact that the Palo Alto Networks is doing a protection using the 3 pillars, which is a application ID, user ID, and the content ID. How they protect using the application is not based on a source port, it's based on applications create from a ground, the signature as the application, like like a Yahoo Messenger. You can use a port 80, but still Yahoo Messenger looks for Palo Alto Networks. User ID will do an integration with the Active Directory, Radius, other different kind of logs, wireless controllers, can update TACACs as well, can update all the information to the firewall. And yeah, there is an IP already here, WFML IP. So this is the same tagging that I do is updating about 18 address here. And once you have this, and you can go to the policy and doing the block bad IP, and you can choose the destination and choose the dynamic object just now. So this is how it works, and you're gonna commit and it will block the traffic to that malicious IP. So other than this, I'm going to show you the last one is the endpoint information, the traps that I was talking. Is interestingly, the traps doing protection without signature is protecting with the core techniques on the exploits, and the malware protection using the like a child process. I think I explained just now. And yeah, this is all the information for the traps coming from the management console. Also do the wildfire, yeah, all the hash file, you do the child process protection here, and all the users, then the machine. There's all very details in a single pane of glass. So that's the end of my demo. Hopefully it's good. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.